Welcome back, all my little perverts. I hope you had a wonderful holiday weekend. Thanksgiving isn't celebrated everywhere, but I think that we can be thankful no matter where we are from or what holidays we celebrate. And I know that I, for one, am thankful for all of you tuning in, sharing the episodes, and leaving those voice messages on the Anchor app. So to everyone who wasn't trampled in a Black Friday fiasco, I say good on you for knowing that the Cyber Monday deals are way better. I'd much rather stay home and shop online, and I'm actually bringing you some deals as well. So make sure to follow all of my social media so you never miss out. Follow This Redhead is SFW on IG and call me Miss Molly on Twitter for all the details. Today's episode is part 1 of 2 because honestly we just had such a long conversation and I thought it warranted 2 listens. My guests Alli and Charlese work in the industry of boudoir and beyond. They're very talented, very entertaining, and I'd love to have them each back to actually talk more about their job and how they began more in depth. But enough rambling from me. Let's get into it on this week's episode of The Whore Next Door.
Okay. I feel like you know how to do so many things that I don't know how to do.
This all looked very complicated to me. My friend Marcos bought me this whole podcast setup. I was using one Yeti mic, which was very bad. Very bad. And he sent me all this. I was like, I don't know how to do this. And I was panicking, thinking I'd have to have him set it up every time. And then I just took 5 minutes and I was like, oh, it's buttons. It's just you press it and it goes.
I've been wanting to do a podcast on all the shitty things that men do and say. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. And then I started looking at podcast equipment. I was like, this scares me. I don't know what I would need to buy. I don't know if I should do this right now.
Well, the fun thing is that now you can just come here and talk about shitty men if you want to. And you
so
don't even
down.
have to press a button.
I literally have so many stories. I have so many stories about shitty men.
She'll press the buttons for us. Let's do that.
Well, it's perfect. So let's put on our headphones so we can start talking about them.
Shitty men. All the fucked up men in this world.
Whoa, that's so weird that I can hear you.
You just want to make sure that it's about at least this close to your
Let me check out myself.
Or let
me make sure that I look
So
hot
this is
right
too
now.
close?
No, that's completely fine.
It's just that if you want to get very close and speak into the microphone, you can't be like that.
So can you just whisper?
Oh my god. You know what? This is why you guys... Oh god, you made eye contact.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so... I gotta get this all on the story. Should I use our new filter? Okay, this is our new favorite filter.
I love that. It's so sparkly.
So that's what we're using.
It's rainbow.
Wait.
For bisexuality.
For buying me food and I get sexual.
That's what's up.
It's bisexual lighting.
So we're here with the amazing Molly Stewart. Wait. I got turned. Not working. Hi. It is podcast time. I'm going to attach here for the podcast. You guys need to stay tuned. It will be up and it's going to be amazing. So have fun, but we're tapping out now. Look over there. Okay, so I think I can literally attach the link to your podcast because I'm cool like that and I now have a lot of followers.
Hell yeah. They told me that they were going to take away my link on Instagram for the stories. I got that huge warning about it and everything. And I didn't have a link for a week and now it's back. So I was like, what happened?
Yeah, that's annoying.
Why would you why would you go through the whole thing? Just take it away for a week. Why would you just say you're never going to be able to have links again? And also why?
Yeah, right.
How do I do the link
why?
thing?
Because you were posting the OnlyFans?
Oh, link.
Yeah, but I think I post a link. I have a safe for work link. So it's a Bitly or whatever those things are. And so I'll post that, but I don't post it very often. I post it maybe once a week, because it's not I want to spam people with it. And I post other stuff on Instagram that's not, just that level of work. But I don't know. Who knows?
Where did you go? I think I'm not logged in.
To Instagram?
Yeah. No, to my because I watch hers. I watch the podcast on Anchor.
So you're logged into your
it's just anchor.fm/TWND.
Oh, Anchor.fm
/ TWND.
I realized I wasted up too hard.
No, you're good. Is it cool with you? Like, does it bother you if I smoke it? Just blow it that way?
No, you can even if you blow it towards me, it's fine.
Okay, cool.
My problem is only if I smoke it. Like, it's weird. So, like, I can be with friends and someone can shotgun me and I don't get sick.
Really?
Or, like, I'll get a little bit of a stomach ache. Like, I'll feel a little slightly nauseated. But if I smoke or if I do an edible or even if I use CBD, I break out.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we have been. I kind of just record and I let my editor David. Hi. I let David start from wherever. So he might even start from the beginning because there was some funny stuff in there. But I don't know. I don't make the rules, David. You do your thing. You do you, boo.
So David watched me get up and get stuff. Okay.
David watches me smack this like a pimp like almost every episode. I'm just whacking everything around.
Same girl, same.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I smoke pot, I say I'm allergic to it because I do stupid shit and like it just doesn't sit well with me. I like the smell of it. Mm-hmm. I'm fine with the smell of it.
I would take a candle that was pot scented with my favorite strains.
Yeah, like I don't know, it doesn't bother me, but like the last time I smoked pot, which like so I used to smoke pot a lot when I was like young, like a kid.
Yeah.
And then the last time I did it, it was laced with angel dust.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So like that kind of me up a little bit. So then I hadn't smoked, and then COVID like literally April, COVID first month like situation going on. My friend was like, just it's my birthday, just try it out. And so like I did. I was like, I haven't done it in 18 years.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be fine.
What could go wrong?
It'll be fine. So I did it, and I immediately like it just like hit me what happened, and I was like, so I like went outside and I called my mom, and like mind you, it's like 12:30 her time in New York. So I'm like, hey, Mom. And I like just having a casual conversation. She had no idea. And I'm talking about like bugs. And I was like, there's a lot of bugs out here. Like just like talking about stupid shit. She had no idea. Sorry, Mom. Like, I love you.
This is what this is called to let you know that I'm dying.
Yeah, it was really bad. So then I went up to my bedroom and I was like so, I don't know. I was like so crazy. I was like, what do I do with myself? So I was like, I have to take a shower. Okay. So I go and get naked. I go like to get in the shower, and as I'm closing the door to the shower, no, there's like it's a huge glass enclosure. Closing the door, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the Holocaust. So I cried hysterical about the Holocaust because I was like, these people, they went in the shower. They just thought they were showering. This is what it was like for them. And so like this glass case of emotion, right? Like that's what I'm in.
Case of emotion.
That's what I'm in. So I'm like crying, and then I got out, and then I got in bed, and then I'm texting my cousin. I'm like, Megan, I'm like, this is what's going on. I don't know. They convinced me. And like she's always like been my rock through like whenever I've had like panic attacks growing up and stuff. So I'm texting her, and then all of a sudden I realize I'm just wet. I'm like, why am I wet? And then I realized it's because I took a shower, but I didn't dry off. I just got in bed. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I like go to take a picture of myself, and I'm butt naked, but I have a golf visor on. And I'm like,
so you took off all your clothes except for the hat.
Except for the hat. No, I put it on after the shower.
You're like, well, shit, I've got to get dressed.
I gotta get some clothes on.
With my hat.
I have people in my house at this moment. It's my friend's birthday party, and I'm upstairs crying
and
about
you're
the
just
Holocaust
crying about the
by
Holocaust,
myself.
putting on a visor.
Yeah, but not a visor. And then I spent $600 on bird feeders for hummingbirds on Amazon. And I bought a shower caddy. Why? Why do I need that? My shower is literally like an 8x8 room.
Yeah. All right, so don't take random joints that didn't first come sealed.
Yeah. No, it was. It was like a from like
was
the,
it really?
Yeah.
They were seeing a lot of
I thought you were talking about the laced one, because I've had a laced experience as well.
No, this is the regular.
Oh,
That's why I'm like,
that makes that so much better.
No, there was no, it was just regular. I only took like one, like.
You're saying all these things, just like take me back through my laced trip that I didn't realize was laced. I was like, oh, I relate to this. This is hardcore.
No, this girl's just stupid.
All right, okay, so no weed free.
No, but then after, a few months later, I did an edible half. That was bad too.
What happened with that?
I forgot all motor functions, like walking and talking and all that stuff. But I was on keto when I did it. Okay. And then I Googled later, like the next day, what happens like when you take an edible on keto, and it said, don't do that. Keto plus edibles equal mushrooms. And I was like, oh.
I had no idea about
I
that.
had
That's
an
interesting.
orgasm for a solid, like, 6
Girl,
hours, though.
And see, that's
It was probably
what's
30
fun.
seconds.
No, but that's what I love about marijuana is, for me, it's always like, oof, it's a body rush. It always makes me horny. And I'm horny all the time anyway, but it's just like that amplified, and it feels like for me that you can just like feel your body way better, and like all the different sensations are like more vibrant and shit like that. Like that's why I like it.
I truthfully was like, I need this to end, and then I was like, I need to have sex.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. That's why I like to smoke, like when we shoot photos. Actually, holy I'm sorry, I should introduce you. I'm not allowed to say that word. Bleep that. I'm sorry. Please don't be offended. Anyway, these are my lovely guests today. We have Alli and we have Charlese.
Hi, guys.
So Charlese does makeup for the models that Alli shoots, and other people's makeup, I'm sure, as well, but that's how I know you. And Alli does all the beautiful photography that you guys have been enjoying.
Yeah.
So
What do you find?
So why don't you...
And Charlese is a sex phone operator on the side as well.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, my new job.
I really feel like you could do it.
How's that going?
She started today, apparently.
Oh, really?
I started today.
So you have
and-
your voice all ready to go.
Yes, it's nice and moved up.
I like
Let me-
physically can't
Let me lube it
handle-
up a little more.
We can hear you
boba.
swallow.
I love when balls slide down my throat.
Yeah, the new job's been great. Right after I put some extensions in some clients' hair, I then go and I talk to their husbands,
That's cool.
and they don't even get to see my face, which is kind of sad, actually.
But also
But-
not, because you're just like this
Yeah.
vibrant, anonymous stranger.
Yeah, they love
They
it.
can like make you into like
whatever they want. I could basically be their wife, just with a different voice.
Yeah, like a better voice.
Yeah.
And a wetter pussy. Like the younger version of their wife.
Literally. They love that.
The fact that you can make eye contact while you say these things
Of
is
course.
on a whole
I don't know if you know this about me, but eye contact is one of my favorite things.
Me too, and I love when it makes people uncomfortable,
yeah.
especially
I'm
when I
so-
talk about.
No,
what-
no. I'm gonna look at. I'd rather look at the camera for this one.
I hate when like you're out in public, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just sometimes just zone out. But then you end up staring directly at someone. But then when you finally catch the eye contact and you're like, how long has this been going on? You can judge by how weirded out their face is. So sometimes I just extend it, and then it's different because it's like, oh, they weren't looking at me. And now they are, because you can see that focus shift in someone's gaze.
and you're just like,
And you
oh.
so you're just staring, like I would be staring over your shoulder, and then I'd just be like, oh, fuck, guys.
Oh, my bad.
How long can I keep this up?
Oh
my favorite is
God.
when you do it with children. Like, children are sitting there, especially like babies, and you're just sitting there, like,
Just
hanging
make
out.
faces at them.
And you're just, you're staring, like, straight past them, or you're staring at, like, their parent. Like, you're like, dang, he has a nice beard. And then sometimes I would be like, man, she looks so stressed out. Like, her kid keeps screaming and everything. And then the kid's just staring at you, but you, like, are basically staring at the kid, but you're kind of staring right past them.
Yeah.
And then when you finally, like, realize the kid's staring at you and you look at the kid,
They have
they have this weird look of, like, I don't know if I love you or if you're scaring me. Like, I don't really know what to
Stranger
do.
danger.
And so then I usually just sit there and I just, like, will make a really, like, cheesy face at them. And the kids love it. And then I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
Sorry that I was awkward. I was out in public again.
Yeah. They don't usually let me out. Like,
I'm
I
not
don't-
usually out without my tenders.
They let me outside today.
No jacket either.
I don't feel like I make eye
Or
contact
basically a
with anyone.
shirt. I'm in a crop top and a short skirt again. Uh-oh.
How else are you supposed to dress? It's Vegas, like everybody.
Yeah, I feel like you should be able to dress that way.
You can
Natalie.
dress like that anywhere, but I'm
Yeah.
saying one of the least judgmental places
Is
that
here.
I've had for how I dress is Vegas.
It's Vegas.
Because
Nobody
it's
cares.
like,
And they don't know where
also-
you're from. They're
Also,
like
they're like, you could be a tourist, like
Yeah.
who wants to dress like.
slutty because they can't do it in their little small
Yeah.
town country.
And I'm like, no, I'm just a slut. So I mean,
So we went to a car dealership the other day, and she is a gem and brought me. I have 2 vehicles,
Yeah.
so I'm getting one good vehicle and getting rid of 2 other vehicles. Sorry, sir.
David, add a pimp slap. Slap it again. He'll pimp slap. Pimp slap.
Like, good?
Yeah.
Slap it. I'm nervous.
Just do it like this.
Do it. Do it. Oh, yeah. All right,
That
pimp
wasn't
slap.
a good, that was a bad pimp. I am not a good pimp.
Yeah, that's all right. He'll probably put a little hat on you or something.
Oh,
like, it'll be cool.
thanks.
Being
I
a
like
real
it.
pimp. Where's my money?
Bitches.
For the next time, I will get better at slapping things, apparently.
You just have to flail around wildly and talk with your hands like I do, and you just slap
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit all over the
I
place.
do that. I was getting my lashes done, and I always do this with my hands when we're talking.
Yeah.
My eyes are closed, and I'm always punching the light, and I'm like, I know this light's here. I
And
can
also,
see it with my eyes closed.
I'm getting my nails done. I shouldn't be moving my hand.
Yeah. No. Well. Yeah. Exactly.
And you're sitting there
It's so bad.
talking, and then you're just like, oh, oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Did I mess up the design?
This lady did my nails the other day. It took her 2 hours.
That's a lot.
Actually, 2 hours. And then, like, I was sitting there, and I think I was, like, freaking the fuck out by the end of it. And she's like, I'm so sorry it took so long. And I was like, they look great. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta get it. She's like, no pedicure? I was like, absolutely not today.
Dang. My guy usually gets me done, like, nails and toes in an hour.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he's on vacation. And I didn't live in fear of him because I knew I wasn't going to see him for this whole month. And so I've ripped off all of my progress.
She's like,
So,
I got rid of the progress.
If you're watching, I'm sorry. You have a lot of work cut out for you when you get back. Welcome home.
It's kind of the
I'm
benefit of...
trash.
What'd you say?
I said, welcome home. I'm trash.
Well, I'm actually impressed that I've had my nails on for as long as I have.
I'm very impressed that only 2 of my nails are fake.
Wow, that
Oh,
is impressive.
All of my nails are real.
These 2 are fake,
None of my nails
Wow.
are fake.
That is impressive.
but the rest are mine.
Yeah. I would never be able to do that.
I love them. But I have really strong nails too. Like most people, like they can just like rip their nails. My nails are so hard to like break on their own.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever.
Mine, like, I had no acrylics on, and so I started, like, washing my hair, and they felt strong, but as soon as they would get wet, they would
Yeah,
just start
they
to have
get
mini
too
tears,
papery.
and once there's a mini tear in there, I just start
Keep going.
going like this, and I'm like, well, if I just take off this part, then it will be fine, and before you know it, they were all gone again.
Yeah,
because I am a
you-
child. Like,
Yeah. One breaks off and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't look at them. They all have to be eaten.
yeah, I know. And so you try to fix it, and then I'm like, why didn't I just use a nail clipper? Oh, because I'm 30 years old and I don't own any. That's how long I've bitten my nails for.
Well, that's not a bad thing. I mean, it's all right. I don't own a lot of things that adults should own.
Like what?
Like,
What is
what
like the
don't you
one
own?
thing that you're just like, damn, I should really have that. Why
There's
don't
definitely
I?
a lot of things, like, for example, like, I pay someone to, like, wash my laundry.
Oh, that's not that bad though. Like,
No,
She
like if
comes
you're
in-
super busy and shit, like
Yeah,
There's a
like,
lot of
she
people
comes
who
to
do
my
that,
house
though.
and does my laundry because I don't.
yeah,
I can't
until
do it.
until you find it all under a bed in your house. And
We
then
did
all
find
it's-
that. One of my nannies hid it. My husband's like, where are my fucking socks? Like, where? And then one day he was like, Allie, I own more underwear than normal people own. I have not one pair. Where are they? We found everything crumpled up in our nanny's closet. Like, shit she didn't want to put away. She was hiding it. She had
not doing it. She's
a
just like, they'll
stash.
never know.
It's
This
so sad.
motherfucker has so much underwear. He will never know.
I legit,
It's like, but at some point he has to get it back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just have all the underwear.
And so he buys like the Tommy
Maybe-
John underwear, which are like
Maybe
$50 or
she just-
$60 a pair. So like he was like,
Well, maybe she was just like,
no.
maybe she's the
Maybe
reverse
she-
panty sniffer.
No,
maybe
no,
she
no.
just really wants to sniff his balls.
I
No,
also don't
it
wear
was all the
underwear, so
kids'
she couldn't.
clothes.
Yeah, it was the kids' clothes.
Like
too.
literally, I walk into her house and I was like, Allie, why is all of this here? Like, what happened? And I was like, what is this? I was like, it's everything. And she's like, oh, we found it all in my nanny's closet, it's all clean. It's just been there. She's like, and I was wondering why, like, I couldn't find any of this stuff. And I'm like,
It's I have
Okay.
a bin like
Yeah.
the size of this table.
Yeah.
2 of them with shit that she was. Like,
she was just, and how did she fit it in her closet though? Is like my question. Like,
because the closet was huge.
Okay,
It was
but
like
what did
8-foot ceiling closet.
okay,
like, or
but did
10
she
foot.
like
Yeah,
put it all
but,
on the
like-
floor somewhere?
Yeah, she was shoving it, and then I
But
went in there. I was like,
what's the process of that? Because it seems like so much more work with
No,
like
'cause,
so
like-
much more negative repercussions, like potentially losing your job, than just like also taking the clothes that are already in your hands and you could just shove them into drawers or something like in the
Because-
correct place that they go.
So her room like our laundry room, and then you walk a second away and it's her room, versus like to go upstairs in my house, like it's a project. My stairs are really...
It is.
Okay, but
really
also,
tall.
like, you're being paid to do a thing.
Oh,
or
yeah.
if you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want to walk them up, here's a novel idea. Here's an idea. Fold the clothes, put them in a hamper, put them at the bottom of the stairs, and be like, I can't take them up the stairs. Like, the stairs?
Well, there's also older kids, so it's like, hey, tell the 2 older kids, hey, can you guys put your clothes away and take your, the little ones' clothes upstairs, but
like,
put your clothes away.
Teach life skills and be like, this is your responsibility now. I'm teaching you that. Like, there's so many options.
She was a kid herself, though. Wow. That's what I kind of attributed it to. She was a kid herself.
I just feel like there are a lot of options, a lot of missed opportunities.
It's all right, life
I
happens.
can't fucking talk right now. Holy shit.
It's okay. It's okay. Nobody's gonna be mad. I'm not mad.
We're not here to talk, are we?
I think that's almost the only reason, potentially, that we're here to talk.
To talk. Ew, I thought we were doing so much more. How lame.
I thought that we were just going to make sexy eyes at each other and do little phone sex over a microphone
I love
when
that
everyone
idea.
is watching.
Let me see. People.
That's fun.
Pretty sure that's what's about to happen now.
I think so.
I totally shaved my
Are you
legs
ready?
for this just in case. I wasn't
Luckily
sure.
for you, I shaved mine as well.
Ooh,
Well,
I didn't shave my lying.
And I got lasered not too long ago, so my
Well,
whole vagina is smooth as
I don't
it's a button.
I don't mean to be too forward, but luckily for both of you, I haven't shaved in a week, so I can exfoliate both of your bodies.
I need to get exfoliation. You know, after you get lasered, they tell you to exfoliate, so
I got you.
I need that.
Wait, so with laser, do you have to shave or you can't wax?
No. So you have to shave. So you shave right before you get lasered, and then you can shave like in between, like because hair does like this is the thing. Like everyone thinks, oh, once I get lasered, like everything goes away. No, the creepiest part is once you get lasered, maybe like a week or 2 after, all of a sudden you get like these really dark hairs, and then they just start falling out.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Oh,
you find
fuck
it.
yeah.
Sometimes
Really?
you find it, and you're like, okay, so like I took my pants off, and I was like, why are there little dots all over? And then I was like, oh, it's hair.
Yeah, because it fucking falls out.
It falls out.
I
A lot
went
of
to
times
some
I don't
lady,
notice
it. Didn't
it.
work. I literally went for 6 treatments and it just didn't fucking
You probably
do
went to a
anything.
shitty person.
I did go to a shitty
you-
place.
Not to be forward, but do you have dark hair?
Yeah, your hair's dark.
Well, then it should
Should
definitely
have
work.
worked. Yeah.
It's
I mean,
dark.
to be fair, when I said I shaved my legs, I lied. So it definitely worked on my legs because I haven't shaved my legs in like a fucking long ass time, and there's barely anything.
But
everywhere
see,
else.
so I noticed for some people certain parts work. Like, so for me, I think after I'm at like 6 months now, I think, and I'm just now starting to grow hair back. I wasn't really growing hair back at all. Like everything was kind of smooth. My vagina, there's nothing really that grows back. Like it's little patches here and there. I just like pluck them out or I shave them. I know I'm not supposed to pluck them out, but sometimes I get bored and like I like the pain of it, so I just do it anyways. But a lot of times I just shave it off. But nothing really grows back there. My underarms, I have not shaven them in a long time, and like there's definitely hairs there, but they're super vellus and you can't see them.
I have the same thing. It's like you get the funniest thing is that like I've always not had much, but it was enough to be like noticeable.
And
But
I'm a
now-
Sasquatch.
Girl, I'm a
I have a
Sasquatch
fucking-
everywhere except my pubes. It makes no fucking sense.
Okay, well, I wish that was the case. Like, I'd rather have that, but like, your girl also has like a major unibrow. Like, I could show you, I can show
what do
you baby
think
pictures.
that I have to pluck out every 2 fucking days?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just look constantly fucking surprised because I don't have Botox, so it'll just be this weird little cross everyone just like,
Yeah. All right,
know?
it's disgusting.
it's awful.
I only want hair on my head and my eyelashes and my eyebrows. But I don't want the
Yeah.
unibrow. I just want my eyebrows to be perfect, and that's it.
Well, so when I went for laser, the girls, like, I went for, like, the consult, and she's like, all right, so, like, what do you want lasered? And I was like, eyebrows down. And she was like, what? And I was like,
Eyebrows.
eyebrows down.
But
All of it.
see, it's
Take
sad
it
because they
off.
can't really do, like, your face, they can only do really dark hairs. Like, so I do, like, my chin, my lip, and then I do my unibrow. And like even like my chin and lip, she was like, well, we'll be able to get, because I had like random dark hairs, like I not like super duper hairy, and it doesn't look like I have a mustache or beard, but it's just like the principle that I hated them. And so like now they're basically gone, but it's just like they wouldn't do it. I wanted all the vellus hairs. Like I wanted all of the tiny little fuzzies around my face gone.
Do you want to be like a slick little dolphin
Yes.
with a
Yes, a
ponytail?
sexy little
Yes.
dolphin, yeah.
Yeah, I want to be able to like.
I'll never
makes
be able
sense.
to accomplish that.
A
It's
vaquita. I'd like to be a
Me
vaquita.
when I do photo shoots, right, and especially in like the sunlight, I'll just look down sometimes. I'm like, like there's a carpet on me that no one can see except for me, like unless you go like super close to me. Like some of it's dark, some of it's blonde, but it's like there's a lot of hair. Like,
really? Like
yeah, and then
everywhere?
I saw this thing on fucking Instagram, and these girls are like, oh my god, this is how I make no butt acne. And I'm like, damn, that's a problem for me. I should watch this video. And this bitch was shaving her butt cheeks. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
You're
People get it
supposed
waxed.
to shave your butt cheeks?
People get it waxed. People get it lasered because you have vellus hairs all over your butt cheeks. And so,
What
like,
do you
some
mean
people
shave
don't.
your
This is
butt
like
cheeks?
this
Like,
is like a
legit,
whole
they
new
shave
thing.
their butt cheeks.
I didn't know that this was a thing. Like that you can't even have. I can't even have fuzzy hair on my ass now. It's like I thought that was the one place that it
People
was
get it
okay. Like,
waxed.
oh, it's like a peach. That's why they call it a peach, because it's a
Yes.
little fuzzy and it's round. Is that not why it's the
No.
emoji? Then the peach makes no sense, and the peach is not
wait.
allowed to be used for the ass anymore if we are
actually-
not allowed to have peach fuzz.
We actually, when we talk about butts, we use like the gaping hole.
The gaping hole, the emoji. That's a butt.
That's
and
a
then
butt- that's a
boobies
butthole.
are cherries.
Yeah, so like when we text each other, she sent me a message the other day, and she's like, this is your butthole, and she just sent me like the gaping
hole.
the gaping hole.
And I was like, here's some tits to go with it.
Yeah, so
That's
we changed
perfect.
it up. We
All
changed
right,
it
well
up.
that's good.
no
so the
longer
rest
a
of you
peach.
take note. Ass is now gaping hole
Yeah. No more peach.
because we have to shave our butt cheeks.
Well,
like
yeah.
for what fucking reason?
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. No, you know what? I'm taking a stand. I refuse to shave my butt cheeks. It already takes me. These are long fucking legs. Okay, it
It's a lot of
takes a
work.
long time to shave all of the nasty ass hair from those legs.
Just hire someone to do it.
I'm not gonna like get to my butt and my back and like I already gotta take care of the butthole. And surprisingly, you know, like you gotta take care of
A lot
it.
of
That
work.
seems
It's a
like
lot of
work,
maintenance.
I don't
Being a
understand.
woman
So-
takes a lot of time.
Why
my
did the
husband
peach
thinks I
become it,
do
though?
a lot of. My husband's always thinks that I do a lot of maintenance, but like I put lashes on because I literally don't wear makeup ever. I make her do my extensions also because I don't even wash my own hair anymore.
I was
I'm
like,
like,
you
can
get-
you wash my hair twice a week so I
Can
don't
just come
have
in
to
for a
do
blow
it?
dry?
Because I'm lazy as fuck, and I barely shave my legs. Or
And you got
anything.
your lips tinted because
And I got my
you
lips
didn't want to
tinted.
have to put anything on your lips.
Yeah.
Like, I get
I
it.
am the laziest fuck. Ain't
No,
nobody shaving no butt cheeks.
That's
like,
that's
not
efficiency.
happening.
No, fuck.
No,
We're not
I'm
shaving
not.
butt cheeks.
I don't,
More
I don't
power-
shave
my
my
butt
butt
cheeks.
cheeks.
Okay, cool.
You shave your butt cheeks?
No.
No, she said no. Okay.
No, my butt cheek. Okay, because this is the thing. So I may be a Sasquatch, but like my
Girl, I love that you
like
call yourself a Sasquatch
my
because I do that all the
butthole,
time.
like my butthole, of course, has like little hairs. But even when it was there, like for whatever reason, I never had like a bush on my butthole. I just had like some hairs there, but it was never like a here's my butthole bush. Now my fucking vagina.
So you didn't have like a little rabbit tusk?
was like covered. Like I have
Okay.
so much hair,
Yeah.
and so now I don't now. No.
Yeah. But
I love it like
I was
that.
rounding back to the point that it's weird that when it starts to grow back in, like it's nothing for so long. But then now,
it's, like,
even now,
sparse.
I got like the permanent laser,
Yeah.
but it comes back
Well,
eventually.
they
but
tell you to go
it-
back for like touch-ups
I know,
afterwards.
but it grows in
Like
so
weird.
patchy. And so it looks like
You're a Dalmatian.
like when like when guys are going through puberty and they're like so
Oh
proud
my
of their
God.
beard.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what my pubes look like.
Oh my god.
It does. It does that for me now. Even like right now, I was like thinking about it. Like I didn't like on my vagina. Like I didn't end up shaving, but I was like sitting there and I was looking at it and I was like, I have this weird patch like on like my bikini line of hair. It's like a little tiny circle. It's like this big, but it's just really like short, like long, and they're long too. Like some of them are really short, and then there's like really long ones. I'm
and-
like, how long have those been there? Like,
It
have I been
feels like
sitting
they shoot
here?
up overnight, like
Yeah.
sometimes, because it goes from like you're checking out your vagina because you're just like, oh, I'm a girl and that's what I do, and then like with the sexy pillow fights, and you go in there's nothing in there. You wake up the next morning and there's one like this long.
Super
you're like,
long.
You're like, where did you?
it's
come
just like
from?
this long straight fucking hair, and I'm like,
The weirdest
are
part
you?
is that one long hair that I always seem to find like inside of the lip. Like you move the lip and I'm like, where the fuck? It's one single hair. How come I have not felt this long
How
ass
did
hair?
you define
this
all
long?
odds? Razors, lasers.
And
How'd
so
you
then
do
I'm
it?
like, no. So then I literally just pluck that bitch out. I'll like literally take my fingers and I'll
like
just
you
be
just
like,
take all of your rage and you're just like, "Ugh."
and then it comes out.
Yeah,
And then
fuck yeah.
it comes out so easy because like one thing I notice is when ever since lasering, I can pluck hairs out
like
with
your
my
follicles
hand.
are looser.
Yeah, and so it just
looser
falls out.
follicles, looser holes.
Looser holes. So I decided to try Nair, which I've never done before.
Oh my God.
I tried.
Doesn't it smell so good?
It does.
Oh, just wait till the story comes.
I tried.
I have a story with Nair too, so I can't wait.
I tried to do it after the laser really didn't work, whatever. I was like, fuck it, maybe I'll try this, because I had a girl that I knew that used to use it and swear by it, and I was like, okay, whatever. So I tried it, and I didn't really read the directions. I was just like, okay, 15 minutes probably. I don't know. Put it on for way too long for my anniversary, so this is not that long ago. Yeah. I burnt my butthole. It was a fucking situation. And my husband's like, on our anniversary, I can't have sex with you on our anniversary. I was like, don't touch me. But it was really we went on a 4-day thing together. And day 1 and 2 wasn't great, but then it was fine after. But good. It was
halfway fine, because then she came back to work a couple days later and she's like, my butthole still kind of hurts.
It looked fucking great. It hurt though.
She burned her butt.
Yeah, Nair is very tricky.
Yeah.
I stopped
but you
using
couldn't
it.
see them. I could. Whoa.
No, you're good. Smack that bitch. Yeah, pimps.
That was better. But you couldn't see that it was burnt, but I could feel it.
Yeah, for sure.
And
that's a sensitive area,
Yeah, you're also not supposed to put it inside.
Yeah.
Well, technically, you're not supposed to put a lot of things inside your butthole, but people still do it.
But I mean, we're all perverts, so. But funnily enough, the story about Nair for me also involves a butthole.
Yeah.
So I was did the Nair thing, getting ready for Cam. This was years ago, and set the bottle down. Mm-hmm. Some of it leaked onto the counter, because facing away, I didn't really notice and think about it. I had a Sphinx cat at the time. If for those of you who don't know, David, you could put a thing. They're really gremlin-looking hairless cats.
But they're so cute.
They're so cute. They're very lovable. Anyway.
They kind of smell funny sometimes.
He jumped up on the counter because he wanted to see what I was doing with my makeup. Sat in the puddle of Nair. Of course, I don't realize that he sat in a pile of Nair until many moons later. And then I noticed that he just has pink stuff on his butt. I'm like, what the fuck? So I wipe it off. They have peach fuzz, basically, as fur. He had none. Not on his butthole. He had little cat balls. His balls were hairless. Everything was pink, almost bright red. Just a rash all over his butthole, his balls, the string of his tail.
I assumed this was going to be about your butthole.
Oh no, we went in the pussy direction.
Oh my, poor baby.
Yeah, so I haven't used Nair since then because I was like, damn, if that can do that to a cat's butthole, I probably shouldn't be putting that on my skin.
On my own butthole.
Technically, it's just regular perm, not a curly perm, in the black community. Perm.
I'm so sorry.
Is basically the same thing. It's definitely
What's
the
in
same
there?
thing.
What's in there?
Is it hair? Because I get hair in my
nervous.
boobs all the time, and that shit sucks.
I think I was
hate when
so
you get
ready
hair in your
to
bra.
take my boobs
especially
out
when you
today.
can't find
That's
it.
what happened.
Because you're reaching around and you're trying to, and then you pull it out and it's just
No. Cut Min's hair. Cut Min's hair and then tell me how you feel. It pokes you like little splinters. It's disgusting.
What about a long hair that's just in your butt?
In your butt? Oh my gosh.
I pull so many hairs
those
out of my butt,
out.
especially in the shower. It's a real thing that a lot of people don't understand is that in the shower, every woman becomes a unicorn if she has long hair. What I mean by this is that for some reason, your butt cheeks and butthole, as you wash your hair, collect all of the loose hair that drains down, and it's usually about enough to make a tail.
Yeah. It just falls down.
And no matter how much I seem to reach in
There's
my
more.
asshole, there's always more hair. And I even have one of those in the shower comb things that you're supposed to do when you've conditioned your hair. I brush the shit out of that. Never matters. There's always so much hair in my butthole, and I'm like, how is there hair on my head if that much is in my ass cheeks?
I also found something really annoying when I started, when my hair got really long.
Yeah.
I started noticing it was getting stuck in my armpits like this, and I'd be trying to get away from it. I'm like, what's happening to me right now?
It's too much!
I can't escape myself. I was like, this is still attached to my head, and then I was like, I need a haircut. It's too much.
My problem is so normally, when I wear my hair curly, which is usually how it is, huge and curly, I'll get a random curl that, goes in my ear, and I feel it's twisting and turning in my ear, and I just am and then I try to get it out, and then another one goes in, and I'm like, why is my hair touching me? I'm like, what is this? Why is it touching me? Or when it touches the back of my neck, I'm like, ugh. and I can't, and that's like the worst feeling.
Oh my god, yeah.
I can't.
That would bother me.
Or when it gets stuck on my lip.
Like when like a bee or like a bug like
That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like, but it's your hair.
Right? That's bad.
And you can't get it away from you.
Yeah.
Because it's stuck to your head.
You're just like lift your hair and just cut like those little curls that go.
Oh my gosh.
And
You
just
know,
put it back down.
that still wouldn't work because for whatever reason, even the curls that are like normally supposed to be in the front of my head will randomly be in the back of my head. The curls in the back of my head are supposed to be here.
They just can't make up their mind.
My hair just goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I'm always pulling dog hair out of everywhere.
Yeah.
My eyeballs, my nose,
Yeah, that's rough.
ears. It's so much. I want to shave them again. They're getting annoying.
The worst is when they get under your contact and then you're like, I can't see.
Oh,
Oh, because
I'm
they
so
have
glad I don't
super
wear
short
those.
hairs, huh? Their hairs are like really, really short.
Kind of like it's varying lengths because they have 4 layers of fur. That's part of the reason their butts float in the water when they swim.
Their butts.
You've never seen?
You've never seen
that?
swim?
All right.
You're like, this is a mandatory thing for you.
All right. Let's see.
You have.
By the
David,
way-
I'll give you something you can throw up there, Corgi.
This picture, by the way, behind you,
I love it
just
so much.
keeps making me think of like
Which one?
the
The lips. Yeah.
like when you were in the studio and like you just like went like that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm like a spit
It's making
machine.
me think that it's lube on the mouth.
It's just like it's like a visual that I can't get out of my head. When you did that, I'm not mad about it, but
Enjoy.
what? Oh my god. Oh my god.
It,
Oh
So
my lord.
cute.
they're so cute.
What's happening here?
Oh, I think the butt fluke is. Oh! Oh my god.
That was so awful.
That made me so sad.
Why did they let it do that?
That was amazing. Different humors, I'm sorry.
I don't think they made it do that.
She's like that poor butterfly. I'm like, fool.
There was a dog, and there was a butterfly in the hand, and the dog just ate the butterfly. That poor butterfly.
I was fucking hungry.
Was definitely the noise it made, for sure. Was it? Oh my god, corgi butts. That's
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by that.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
I might go buy.
But-
a
So you
corgi
take a
on the way
corgi
home.
with you if you ever are drowning. Grab the corgi.
Grab the
will
corgi.
keep you afloat.
No, that would be ridiculous.
I don't think
Actually, that doesn't work.
Flotation device.
I don't think
They
it would
don't
work.
always float. That one with the tail. Remember, I don't know if we discussed this. He drowned when he was a baby. That's part of the reason he has brain damage. So they don't always float. Don't assume that they can. Wait to see first.
Do not use your corgi as a
A
flotation
person- yes.
device.
Exactly.
My dog does not like the pool at all.
Oh, really? I can't keep
Mine
I
either.
can't keep the youngest out of it. She's always
Really? She
always
loves
in
the
the
pool?
pool. She is in the pool now. It's cold. That's not a heated pool.
Yeah.
I don't let her inside after she goes in the pool. She knows, and she's upset every time. Sits on that table. I don't know how she gets up there, and just stares in until
Was that
she's dry.
Julia?
Mm-hmm.
She's so cute though.
She's horrible, horrible little demon spawn, but I love her.
Sounds like my
Everyone
youngest
has
child.
one of those.
My youngest child is the spawn
horrible
of
demon
Satan.
spawn.
Honestly, I don't think I have a horrible demon spawn.
Yet.
No.
One day.
Yeah.
It's in your body.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
say that like you
My
have
eggs
all your
are there.
eggs. So
I was gonna say it was like, is there something I
That's
don't
alright.
know?
You could have already like blooded it out already. You know,
Oh,
you could have
yeah.
already moon cycled it out.
hopefully that happened for you because
I guess
you
we'll find
probably
out.
deserve a spawn child. To be honest.
I love you, sweetie. You deserve the spawn of
I
Satan.
probably do.
I definitely do. That's
I
why
want.
I have one.
I want a little spawn that looks and acts just like me.
Oh, the world is not ready
And I'm
for that.
definitely. I'm okay. So honestly, though, both of my parents, out of the 5 of my mom's kids and the 8 of my dad's kids, my dad definitely has a couple spawns of Satan, like a couple. And honestly, I think they're worse than spawns of Satan. Like, I feel like if it was up to me, I don't want to send any of them to hell, but like if I
Yeah.
really had to like think about it, I wouldn't want them to go to hell if like they had the choice. I'd want them to stay in limbo for a long time and have to like think about all of the fucking hell holes that they've put everyone through, including me.
Yeah, like the little torture zone.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then my mom's
Purgatory.
kids,
Is that what that's called?
my mom's
Yeah.
kids, almost everybody is a spawn of Satan. except for like the youngest brother, he has like these weird spawny moments, but for the most part, he's like the most loving. My older brother, if you end up watching this, is definitely a fucking spawn of Satan. I love him so much. So he's my favorite spawn of Satan. But
that's how I feel about my 3-year-old.
Yeah. Oh no, your 3-year-old.
That's all right. To my family, I am the spawn of Satan, and they love me anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
fine.
I'm definitely a spawn.
So last night all the kids.
This is why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Speak sexually into microphones and make eyes at people, and this is how we entertain the masses.
Exactly.
Are you not entertained? All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
You guys just look at each other and like you just don't break eye contact, and it's like,
Do you want me to look at you,
no.
Allie?
No, Allie,
Do you
it's
want
so
me to look at
uncomfortable.
you and speak sensually into the microphone?
No,
She'll-
remember
she
that
won't
time?
look at me.
I won't
do it.
Wait, do you remember the time? So like my first photo shoot with you.
Let's
You're
talk.
like, oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Hello. So my first shoot with you, you're
So fun.
just like
Ow.
sitting there, you're drinking like it was water. It wasn't even anything in the glass, right? You put like your drink in it, like seltzer or something.
Yeah.
And you just like
brought
licked the
LaCroix.
glass. Like you just like you were like doing your thing. I'm like, I guess I could make eye contact with people when they're looking at me through the camera.
Yeah.
Like that's easy for
It's
me.
different.
But then you're like looking at me, and then you just lick the glass. I clearly I have moments of you in my head. This
I like
is
that
why-
comes to the forefront.
Yeah. This is why she makes the big bucks, because even the photographers are enamored by her.
That's just because it's like a game,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like, look at me now. Look at that's not me. I'm not gonna like
You
that's
might.
what I do now. This
Okay.
is like
Honestly,
me
you
now.
might.
To be
But
fair.
it's like you turn it on, right? Because you're performing.
Yeah, you're performing,
Like it's
yeah.
fun, and then you're just into it, and then it's like, oh, and then I'm making fucking weird faces,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
we
yeah.
also have captured.
Yeah, of course.
It's like-
But like you did that, you licked the glass, and it's so funny because that's like my first encounter with you. Right
Yeah.
now I've had many, but so I go home and my husband and his buddies, I think 2 or 3 of his friends were over. They're like, "How was it? Like, how was your day?" And I was like, "She like licked this glass." And that's like one of my takeaways from it. And I was like, she was just like, she was like amazing. She was like doing all these things. Like I couldn't even like understand what was happening. And then all of a sudden she was like on this glass. I was like, what just happened? Like I was not ready. And then so I go back and I was like watching the film because I put the GoPro, remember, on the top, and I filmed everything. And that moment is captured where like you do that and I just
God.
break. I just
Yes!
lose it. And I'm just
I
like,
need
I
that.
was not prepared for that moment. And then we laugh for like 10 minutes and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're just back to like being this
Yeah.
hot bitch and you're just doing your thing and it's like ridiculous.
Well, it's funny because like so for most of like the photography stuff that I did until I moved to Vegas, it's all adult. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so it's like it's been weird, not weird, but like I mean weird in a good way. But like going to shoot with people like you, who's more like boudoir. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Anyway, to like turn that part off or tune
yeah.
it down. Like I did like product photos for my friend's yoga company and stuff. And the first time we ever shot photos together, she's like, maybe you can like put your knees together, like cross your legs. I'm sitting here like, eh. and then going with you, like I shot with my other friend Gabby, and the first time I met her, I just like started outfit changing in front of her, and I had a moment, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm sorry, I'm just like taking off my pants right now, and I've just met you today.
And you're like, is this okay?
And she's like, she was fine with it, she was cool, but I was like, damn, like I need to like start learning how to do things a little bit differently and
Yeah.
having some different boundaries.
I'm so
'Cause I have
like
none.
yeah, well I'm like, and you too, like I'm so like both of us or all 3 of us are I'm so desensitized to everything.
Yeah.
Really.
So we went to New York for the mansion shoot that I'm sure you saw. It was
that
like so
looked
cool.
so
It was
fun.
like this Gold Coast mansion. It was fucking awesome. So we go and like we were there 2 nights early. So I was just like kind of making the rounds. Like that's where I grew up, and I went to see my friend's my husband's best friend. So we go and I bring Charlese, and she in minutes, less than 10 minutes, was naked up on one of the cars because he drives race cars. So like that's what he does. So she's up there on the fucking cars, tits out, just like doing her thing, whatever. And like I thought it was funny, whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't think anything of it.
No, of course.
So she brought from the Vegas studio, she brought this little dinosaur. You saw that dinosaur. You took pictures with it. You guys were
Gregorius
talking
Rex.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this little dinosaur, she brought that on our trip to New York.
Yeah.
That dinosaur fucking went everywhere.
Yeah.
He still lives with
So
me. I never
She never
gave
gave him back. So she had him in the picture
Yeah.
where she's naked. So I take this picture of her. I'm laughing. She's naked on this car. I sent it to my husband. He doesn't respond about how Charlese is naked on a car in his friend's shop in 2 seconds. He just says, LOL, the dinosaur.
Yeah.
That's all he says. Because
so,
it's
it's
desensitized.
nothing. It's nothing at this point.
But then I talked to his buddy literally like just 3-4 days ago. So like we're talking on the phone and he's like, I was trying to tell my friends like weird shit just always happens to me. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, tell me another time when like you text me, I think you're coming by the shop with your kids. Like he thought I had my kids with me. He's like, oh, like I think you're coming to visit me with like my nieces. And you show up with your friends and then your friend comes in and then your friend gets naked and he's like, what the fuck is going on? He's like, I'm trying to explain to my like to people like like this is like only my life. Like this
is
doesn't
me
normally
knowing
happen.
you.
Yeah.
So,
And I said I was like,
You're
I'm
like,
so
"You're
decent.
welcome."
Yeah, exactly.
This is my thing. Like, you can't expect me to go somewhere with like one of the best photographers and not
get
take
naked.
bomb pictures. Like, I'm like, okay, like,
Thank
okay,
you.
cool. There's a sexy car. I'm pretty hot. I'm like, let me take a hot picture next to a hot car. Like,
Life is
hot
short.
girl, hot car. I feel like it makes sense together.
Life is short. Take all the naked pictures you can.
And then
like-
post them on the internet.
Yes.
And it's worth it. It was so worth it.
You might
I
think
loved it.
nobody wants to see these boobies. They
But
do.
They do.
There is a reason that's all I post on Instagram, I guess. You know,
Your boobies?
my whole life. Well, not my whole life, but basically me, like half naked and my boobies all the time. They're always on Instagram. You can go on Instagram right now and find my boobies. You can find my ass.
See, that's why I also don't care as much like what I wear or like what I like
Who
what I
gives a
do
shit?
because also people can just Google pictures of me naked. So
You're like, you might as well see it in fucking person.
like
with my
who
consent.
cares? You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't bother me. But then on a different note, it's like I would be more comfortable naked in front of a big group of people than I would be like sitting with my clothes on and being like, oh, what now? You know what I mean? Which has been like, ooh, fuck. See, I'm doing it again. Like it's been a weird transition to like,
To not be...
because it's not like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't like what I love that, but it doesn't have to like,
It's hard for you because, like, you probably feel like you always have to be on.
oh, yeah. But I mean, not anymore. I mean, look at me now.
Right. No, I mean, but even still, like, I mean, obviously this is you. Like, you're so chill. Like, you're just. I think that's the
So-
hardest part of being like a public figure and like being in front of people.
It's
Like,
exhausting.
you just never know who's watching. So my grandmother was an opera singer and a Juilliard performer, and I swear to this day, like, didn't matter if she just sensed a camera. She was on. She was ready to go. She was always posing, and like she loved it. I mean, that was her. Like she thrived on that, and she was so beautiful and all that stuff. But like, I couldn't imagine like being in your shoes, and you don't know. Like you could be seeing, like, you know when you see someone and you're like, I recognize that person, but I don't know why I recognize that person.
Oh yeah, you get the weird people who like stare at you.
Yeah.
And I'm always aware of like, do
Some
you
people
know me?
probably-
Are
yeah.
you just staring at me, or are
Do you know
you
me?
trying to debate if you should come over and be like, I'm a fan of you. Let's take a picture.
Right,
and
right.
How much can I pay you for a night? Because people are that gross and forward. It's like
No.
the amount of stuff I get on Instagram.
Oh my god. Well, Instagram, I fucking believe. Like, that shit is, you should smile more. You'd be a lot prettier.
Well, it's
Like-
just, it always is how it happens. Like, it's weird. Like, even like when I would go to the mall and stuff with like Kevin, there's been a point in time like when we were married and stuff, and we would go somewhere and literally women would like come up to him and be like, we were at the mall one day and someone was like, oh, can you take a picture or whatever? And like basically like handed me the phone. And I was like, and I'm like, cool. And I took the picture, like, whatever. Like, I was like, okay, here, you know, whatever. But it's like, it's definitely weird. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely like a weird thing. But at the same time, like, even, I'm not even a public figure, and like a lot of people don't even know who I am. But there's moments where I feel like people know me as a certain thing. And sometimes I feel like I almost have to like keep it up. Even when I'm like not in the mood for it, everyone just automatically is like, oh, you're this bubbly person who's always doing this. You're always having fun. You just don't care. And like, there's moments where I just want to be like, to talk. You may feel like I have an attitude, but it's really just the fact like I'm not feeling the greatest, or I'm doing this and I'm going through that. And it's like there's even people who are like friends of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
that I just said that about you the other day.
What? Oh yeah, no, yeah. You're like, you're always this. You're like, why are you so down? And like, there's just moments or people that I get
like,
close to.
Yeah, like the other day we were somewhere and she was just like having fun, and like the person who we were with was like, "Who are you?" said to her, because she's just like, she's extra in a good way.
Like, nah.
And I was like, she's always like this. Like she's just like, that's a different thing. Like you're just a fun person. So, like, people are attracted to you because of that. And, like, you also, like, you're beautiful. So people might just be looking at you. You know what I mean? Like, you might be out in public and someone might be like, oh.
Or they're thinking about.
Oh, stop it.
They're thinking about doing things to her.
You think that I put on makeup to leave the house?
It has nothing to do with that. Even if you don't wear makeup.
Yeah.
Like,
you are...
when you don't wear makeup, I would still stare at you. And I would be like.
Look at each other, guys.
Like, let me
Make
just.
eye contact.
Like, let me just look at her.
Oh, this is so
She can't do it. She can't do it. There's times where like we'll be arguing and then she'll be like, I think you're gonna get mad at me, and I'm like staring at her, and she's like, you look like you're gonna get mad at me, and I'm like,
no, I'm just looking at you.
I'm like, no, I'm just looking at you while you're telling me something. Like you asked me, hey, can I ask you to do something? Can I tell you something? And then you're like, I just think you're gonna be mad at me, and I'm like. I'm just looking at you.
I don't know, but I feel like there's a lot of people like that, or even if they don't say it, I don't know, maybe we're just intense, like how we stare at children and random people longer than we should.
I'm definitely told that I'm intense and intimidating.
Because I'll even sometimes see like when someone is like talking to me or something, and I'm just trying to be intently focused on what they're saying so that I'm paying attention, because
if I look away, there's
I'm not paying
probability
attention.
that I might not be paying attention.
I'm probably not.
There's probably like right now, there's a fucking banana back there, and I'm thinking about how I don't like bananas. I hear everything you're saying, but at the same time, I'm also focused on the fact that bananas are disgusting, and there's a fucking banana right there.
Well, to be fair,
I'm sorry. Do you want me to move it? I can move it.
No, actually no.
Okay.
Because there's also straws right there that I really like. And I was like, is it a pencil or is it a straw? Ooh, it's a straw. Yeah. I'm like, I love straws. They look so cool. Yeah. They're Halloween. Mm-hmm. So I just hyper-focus on random things, but I'll be listening to everything you're saying. Yeah.
I think that these headphones have made me very focused in this conversation.
That's great.
I think I might wear headphones more often.
And you can get that because like...
I've been so focused. I've looked at nothing. I didn't even really like.
And normally you're all over the place.
Well, that's the fun thing is like the fun thing with the podcast is like so there's not like phones. It's not like there's a reason to be distracted. There's a giant screen behind us that the only thing you can see is a random banana, and I'm so sorry for that inconvenience. No, if I had known about the bananas, I would have.
She would have ate that banana.
I would have fucking deep throated that banana in one go, thrown away the peel so you didn't even have to see it, and it would have been gone.
Should have even.
I would have found something random to like focus on. I'm too like all over the place. Like I find random things in every conversation. I'll be talking to someone, we'll be having a deep conversation, and I'm focusing on you and something random. And it could be something as little as there's a weird dot on the wall that might look like this, or did you know that like this happens in life? Mm-hmm.
No, I do that all the time because I feel like my brain is always going. That's why I have trouble sleeping, and I don't sleep as much as I probably should.
Me either.
This is the most relaxed conversation I've had in a solid while.
Yeah.
And see, we're not even like taking photos. I'm not even in like You're not lingerie. Even naked. I'm not naked. It's crazy.
Nobody's
this is what you're like with clothes on?
Yeah. It's like almost the same thing. And again,
I'm so proud.
It's like the same.
She wore clothing that she couldn't get naked.
Yeah, movies can't come out. So I was telling Alli before, I noticed when I was setting up for the set today that my boobs kept falling out of this. So I preemptively put tape. Did you know that they make sticky-sided double tape for your boobs? I only knew that until a couple months ago.
It's the greatest thing ever.
It is so
I've known for a long time.
They won't come out.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I'm a huge
fan of boob tape. So this one always has her boobs out. Always.
Yeah.
They're always out. And they can't even come out today. Everything would have to come out for the boobs to come out.
Yeah.
And then you have me, who last night had to take a bath and relax because of the thought of that I might have to show my boobs today.
You do not have to show your boobs at all. If I had told you, if when I had asked you to come on, if boobs were a requirement, I would have been like, oh, also, you need to sign all this waiver paperwork to make sure that I can show your tits because they're going to be out.
And make sure that you wear a really cute bra or no bra at all so that, like, when you're taking it off, we can see, like, the cute bra.
I mentally prepared for every scenario.
Okay, well, that's good. You're just a very prepared, put-together person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually she focuses on the one that's going to happen is the one that scares her the most. Like, with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, everything in life is always, what's going to scare me the most? That's the story that's for sure happening.
That's definitely happening.
That's the
what I'll
one. That's the
prepare
one.
for.
Nothing else is happening.
I mean.
And then when nothing else happens, she's like, I feel like we're going to get in the car and she's going to low-key be like, man, I'm kind of bummed. No one asked me to take my boobs out.
Girl, if you need to take your boobs out, we can leave that for the fans only.
I'm gonna go. I'll just go in the car and I'll just go like this to the nearest driver.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a
Boom.
good idea.
Fine.
You're going to have to lift everything up. So, like, when you get in the car, just make sure you pull
I
everything
can go
up.
down. I can go down.
Oh, yeah, it goes down pretty far.
Ooh.
And you have a cute bra on.
You know, maybe I wore this dress on purpose.
It's very stretchy.
I just used my phone as a cup holder, and I was like, that doesn't look like a cup holder. And I was like, and it also, I think, is going to fall off.
So, like, something is
Like-
why. I love these, actually.
Even going to shoot, like, with you for the first time I was like, damn, I have no idea what this is going to be like.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You were nervous to shoot with me, or you just weren't?
I get nervous to shoot
Really?
with everyone new.
Huh.
Even after shooting with people for a while, like, I still get nervous. Like, even now, like, when Alli's like, let's do this, like, in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, do I remember how to pose? I could have done, like, 3 shoots before that, and I'm like, do I remember how to pose?
Mm-hmm.
What if I look kind of chunky today? Like, what if I'm fat? Like, what if I'm, like, bloated today? I'm like, did I shave my legs? Like, did this happen? Like, what if there's one dark hair that just keeps popping up?
What if I forgot a piece of that clothing that I'm supposed to be bringing?
Like, what happened?
I think when people, I try to be different from other photographers, and I hope you feel that, and you feel that, like, it's so much pressure. Like, I tell people all the time, I'm like, like a client who comes in, let's say it's a client who's not a professional model, and they're like, I don't know what to do, I'm gonna, like, be so awkward. I'm like, I will pose you literally from the hair on your head to your toes. Like, it's not even possible, even for a model, which actually, like, I'm always so impressed with you guys. Like, you get in front of a camera and you know your angles, you know how to work it, like, you know what you want to do. And, like, I never direct you.
That? No, I never.
No, but you're just so fluid. Like, you're, like, both of you, actually. Like, you're just so, yeah, exactly. Ooh.
Let's get jiggy. Listen up.
So, you know, you're so fluid, but, like, I tell people all the time, I'm like, there's never an opportunity that you're going to walk in and just be like, okay, I got this, I know everything to do. It's never going to happen. Like, even models sometimes need help, or, like, saying, okay, this looks great, but just move a little bit like this, like,
like, just showing you where the lighting is, because we can't see that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like...
Exactly. And I think sometimes when I shoot with people, like, especially people who are influencers or in the public eye, they think that they're going to have to release all of their photos or whatever it may be. And, like, I, just as a woman, I'm self-conscious, right? So, like, I know what I'm self-conscious about. And I heard something when I first started Boudoir. I was listening to, like, I don't think it was a podcast. It might have been, like, a YouTube video or something like that. And this girl, Terry, who is a really incredible boudoir photographer, she's, like, a real body positive. Like, if you go to her for your photography, she doesn't even remove stretch marks or anything like that. Like, she photographs you as you are and shows you how amazing you look. Yeah. So what she said one time is, don't put your shit on someone else. And I have lived by that for 7 years. And, like, what that means is, like, okay, so I'm self-conscious of my stomach. So when someone comes in, I shouldn't automatically assume they're self-conscious of their stomach. That's my shit. So being respectful of different body types and different mentalities and people who are maybe they're self-conscious or maybe they're not self-conscious, like, whatever the situation may be. And then also making sure, like, someone who is an influencer knows if there's a picture I take of you and it's, like, off-brand, like, maybe you're like, you know what? Let me try this move out where I'm spreading my butt cheeks apart. And then you're like, well, you know what? I fucking hate that. I can't believe that I did that. I don't want that to be shown. Yeah. I'm never going to release that shit. Yeah. And I think that's, like, what's different. Like you said, you're nervous the first time you came to shoot with me. is I think other photographers are just be like, well, you can go fuck yourself. I'm posting this. Like,
Oh,
this
I've
is a
had
great
so
picture.
many photographers do that where they're like, I love this picture and it's getting posted, and I'm over here like, I hate that picture.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there's a lot of photographers who feel like when they take the picture, they own that picture. And especially if you do, like, a lot of people
Technically,
do TFP work.
legally, yes. I take a picture of you, I own it, which as a photographer I actually think is kind of crazy, but that doesn't mean I'm not a human being who respects boundaries.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, like, even, and I understand the whole thing with the photographers, like, when they're like, oh, you know, well, I took it, like, it's this, but I'm like, at the same time, like, you're putting something that's not me, not who I am, and then they tag you in it and they expect you to share it, and then they get mad at you for not sharing it, especially when you do, like, a lot of TFP work. And, like, this is my thing, like, I can guarantee there's going to be a bunch of amazing pictures that we both love, like, as a, you know, you as a photographer, me as this, you can use one of those instead.
Yeah.
You know, if there's a picture that really just makes me feel really uncomfortable, you have no idea why. Like, it could have been like, oh, that reminded me of this, or this took me back to this. And so it's like, you should, I love that you respect that with people.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons too, like, working with you is so great, because I don't ever have to worry about that. And even with, like, clients, like, I'm always like, hey, you know, when some of my, like, hair clients are coming in and we're sitting there talking, I always bring up, oh yeah, you should do a boudoir shoot. And when they're like, oh, you know, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh, and if you do it, you have to do it with Alli. Like, I'll be there too, so I'll do your hair and makeup. And
Make it a
then you'll
more
go do it with
comfortable
Alli. Yeah,
environment.
more comfortable. And a lot of times too, they're like, well, what happens if I don't like this or this or this? And, like, I'm like,
Then it's
you don't
gone.
have to worry about
That's
it. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And so,
And I think that that's a really simple concept to implement, especially, like, if the goal is to create awesome content
Right.
that both photographer and model are happy with,
Right.
that is what real trade work then is. Because
it's-
you're
yeah.
trading something that you are both happy with. So if
And-
you're
and
not
even
if you're
paid.
not getting enough photos that are mutually agreeable to the both of you
Right.
to share, then you're not a good photographer, so maybe practice more.
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like if you're going to a shoot and investing time in it, there's at least going to be 20 good photos.
Oh, yeah.
always.
Otherwise, what was the point of
Well,
the
there's
shoot?
always, and on top of that
So-
too, most of the time there's hundreds of photos that are taken.
Exactly. And so my point is kind of like with that situation, I don't see any reason why there shouldn't be more communication and possibly just better paperwork implemented for
Yeah.
trade shoots
Yeah.
to kind of authorize use, but only to the agreed upon photos. And
Well,
that
part
can
of-
help protect
It's
a
like
lot of things.
it's just integrity. It's like, you know, if I take 400 pictures, you're never going to share that many of
No.
them. So it's just like, you know, to not give the model or the influencer, even if it's paid, if we agreed that, so like I do content packages where I have like a shared content plan where like the fans page, I can share the content on my page and so can they. And like, they pay me for the photo shoot, but they're making their money however they're making it, whatever it is. And I would still never share something from even that,
And
you know?
integrity aside, because I think this kind of speaks to the fact that there isn't as much integrity, maybe across the board. It's like, yes, you wish that was there. But then on the same point, I kind of feel like we, as models, also still have some responsibility to bring that to the table. So I think if we could look into just providing our own paperwork for those trade shoots and then being like, if you don't want to sign this, then
We don't
then
shoot.
what's the problem? Like, what is the problem? And if you're going to make a problem, then I don't see a reason to shoot together, because this is something that's mutually beneficial and protects both of us.
And it's something that makes me more comfortable too. Like, hey, I don't want to post this. And there's been times too, like with photographers, even if you discuss that with them beforehand, like I'm very upfront with people when I take pictures. I'm like, I'm not okay with this. I don't do nude. I don't ever post anything with like my nipples out. Like, I just don't. That's just not who I am. I just don't post it. For my brand, that doesn't work. I'm like, so I'm like, no, like, and they're like, oh, well, I'm going to post it on my page. And I'm like, no. And I'm like, we can't shoot together then at that point. If you can't respect like certain boundaries that someone has, then you shouldn't shoot with them. And the problem is, I think where a lot of models need to take the responsibility is there's a lot of models who will still go ahead and do the shoot. And if they're uncomfortable with something, they'll still take the photo, even though they're not comfortable with it, because I feel like a lot of people are just too nervous, especially with, a lot of TFP things. A lot of models will work with these photographers who are great photographers, who are amazing, and it's a TFP job, they're like, oh my gosh, they're doing this shoot for me for free and they're, you know, a well-known photographer. I'm just going to do it. When this photographer asks them, oh, well, we're going to pose like this, we're going to do this, even though they know that they don't want to do it and they're uncomfortable, they'll say, do it anyway. They don't even say, hey, I'm uncomfortable with it. For me, if I don't like something or if something makes me uncomfortable, I'm going to tell you, hey, I'm not doing that.
So in my contract, it specifically says, and sometimes I have people who are afraid to sign the contract at first. And what I tell people is, that's not just for my protection, it's for yours as well.
Yeah, for real.
Like, so, and I think that most of the time when so like you're handed a contract, most of that time it's not for your protection, it's for the other person's protection. But like my contract literally says in there, like, if I am uncomfortable or if I'm asked to do something or if I'm made uncomfortable in any way, it is my responsibility to inform the photographer that I'm not comfortable doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think it's also like telling people flat out in the beginning, like, you know, we can roll however you want. I'll do as much or as little as you want. Like, I don't care. And it's funny because like when you first came in, you're like, so what are you like comfortable with? And I was like, I don't give a shit. I'll do whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, cool, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. Don't look at glass in front of me because that's boundaries. No, I'm kidding.
Much.
You know, I'm fine with looking at like buttholes all day, but you know, the second you lick a glass, it's over.
Yeah. Well,
done.
I think it was the eye contact. It wasn't that it was a bad thing. It was just like, I was like, whoa. I was like, did that just happen? I was like,
am I in love right now?
Yeah. I feel like I have this very intense camera face.
I love it though, but that's the thing. Like, yes, you're always on when you're in front of the camera because like, that's how you make your money.
That's
and like
how
obviously
I live.
You're good at it.
That's how I've lived since I was like 20 years old.
Yeah.
So
but but then like the ability to, or the not just the ability, but like being able to turn that off is really hard, especially when you're going out and like you're like, I don't know, does the person's looking at me?
That's why I don't like to go out.
Yeah, which sucks.
But then it's also like you're missing out on so many opportunities if you don't. So I've been doing it way more, and I'm like, fuck.
Why am I here? Well, that's why I keep inviting you places because I know one
Sooner
day
or later, she's
I'm gonna crack you.
Yes,
I know. But also, and then on the same note, it's like I've been doing so like. I have justified to myself going out to if it's work related.
Yeah.
And so I've been taking on so many projects and then it gets to the point where it's like people invite me out for the fun stuff and then I'm like, well, fuck, I just worked every day this week and I want to watch Netflix and be a potato.
Yeah.
and do nothing.
I like to be a potato as well.
Me too.
Fair.
I love potatoes.
It's so infrequent.
I love potatoes.
I like how that's where she went. She loves potatoes, no bananas.
No bananas.
No bananas.
No nanabees.
It's like, do you ever get that though, where it's just, you want that relaxation, you want that downtime.
Oh, yeah.
But you get it, and then you're like, well, fuck, now I'm not being productive,
and
so I better figure out something to do for work, or figure out this thing I need to take care of, and then it's like, well, shit, I didn't relax at all.
And you're like, oh, wait, shit, fuck, now it's 3 a.m.
3 a.m. What did I do?
You're like, I did nothing, and then at midnight I was like sleeping, and then you open your eyes, and you're like, oh,
my
fuck,
gosh, I forgot to do this.
Yeah. That's so relating back to, like, the times when, like, you're out and, like, you just have the public eye on you and you just never know what you should or should. And like, did I post enough today, or did I do this today, or did I speak properly?
Yeah, and it's so on edge.
Yeah.
Like it's stressful to like go places, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
So did you see that post that Chris Pratt made about his wife? You see that whole drama? So aside from what he said, so like he said something about like how he was like giving a shout out to his wife about how like, thank you for being you, and you know, you're so amazing, you do this and this for me, and like every once in a while you just like, you know, I just open up a can of pickles for you, and like you gave me a beautiful healthy daughter. And like literally the public wanted to cancel him because his first wife, he had a sick child, and now that, you know, the child was born prematurely and all that stuff, and like so everyone's like, you're so chauvinistic, all you do is open a can of pickles for her, like whatever. And like I was reading that, and again, like I don't know what his intention was. My thought is she was trying to be funny, and it went awry because the public fucking ate him alive, like literally went nuts.
Well, didn't
over
they
him.
already like eat him alive and hate him for like being in the first place?
Yeah. So,
but it is that public eye thing, because it's also kind of like at the same time, it's like you are in the public eye, so
Right.
people are all going to have their opinion, and people would still have that opinion if nobody knew who you were, but it
Right.
would just be a much like smaller scale in
Right.
your hometown or
Right.
wherever, you know what I mean? But I think that's one of the things I talked about before is like even with things like celebrities or even like content creators and stuff like that is like one of the big things that we're selling is privacy. And it's like amplified because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And so because more people know who you are, because more people are invested in what you're doing, it's like they feel entitled to shove that opinion
Right.
on you no matter what, because they're like, well, you're in the public eye, so
You chose that.
and it's like, yeah, so it's like you chose that life. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, not necessarily. I don't think anyone really knows how
it's actually
It's gonna
going
happen.
things are
there.
going to go out. And I still think that, you know, people still are entitled to a minute amount of respect.
Yeah, I mean,
Because-
people ate him alive, and everyone was like, "Oh, like Anna Faris, like we should come and support her," and blah blah. And like again, aside from what he said, I was just like, in the moment of me reading it and seeing all the articles and all the shit coming out, I was like, God, I would fucking hate to be famous like that. Like, hate to have it where like you get shit all of the time from these people, like, and they're like nobodies, whatever, but you don't have like BuzzFeed writing an article about like, did you see,
Oh, thank God.
you know, did you see Molly?
Been
She
canceled
posted
so many times by now.
she's got 3 dogs and she said, I love this dog the most, like, you know,
And she
it's like,
called the
fuck.
youngest one the spawn of Satan.
Yeah, like, Jesus, like, it's just like, it's so hard, like, it's like that, right? It's like you have to be perfect because you don't know who's watching,
But then at the same point,
or is
it's
anyone
like,
watching?
It's like, and it makes you fucking crazy because you're always trying to say the least offensive thing while still getting the most circulation and attention for it. So it's
Yeah.
like you
And your
kind of
point,
gotta poke at some people, whether you're trying to or not, just to appease a wider
do it.
crowd to get the audience, because that's the job at the end of the day, is getting people to watch whatever the fuck you're doing, whether it's this or whether it's my
whether it's
content
good or bad, whether it's
yeah.
good attention or bad. It's just, it's sad too, because like you never know like what someone's, you know, especially like with the Chris Pratt situation, you don't know what him and his wife's agreement is. You don't know, like there's relationships like
Maybe contractually he has to write a really nice post about her once a year.
not even just that, like you have to keep in mind too, like what if in their relationship that's how they like it to be. Like
Yeah.
I know, like even for me, there's people who would hate, like when I was married, like with us, like when we were like in our relationship, I cooked, I cleaned, I did everything in the house. He never had to do shit if he didn't want to, but at the same time all my bills were always paid. He did it, you know, if I wanted to go do this or if I wanted to buy that, I got it.
Yeah.
So it's like that was our agreement. I was perfectly fine with it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you know, talk shit about it and felt some kind of way about it. But at the end of the day, like that's your relationship. That's your decision.
And it's like not everybody has to have the same relationship. Not
Right.
everybody
No.
has to have the same dynamic. And even the same person can have completely different relationships throughout their lifetime, because
Right.
that's the point of having relationships. It's the point of dating.
You grow.
It's learning about people, and it's learning about what you want in a relationship. That's why they don't always work out. And that's why typically
Right.
relationships are a learning lesson until you have learned enough
And
to
you find
reach a
your
point
person.
in yourself that you're like, oh, now I understand what it is that I need. Now I understand what it is that I have to offer. Now I know what to look for. And then
You get
the
it.
right person, it's like they appear. He, she, they, whoever. And it's like, because you finally have found that center,
Right.
and you feel like, oh, I kind of understand a bit more
I think-
about what it is that I need.
I think it's interesting, like, so, like, getting older and realizing that, like, different relationships, like, certain things that you need, there's just, like, so growing up, I was like, okay, so you grow up, you find a husband, you get married, you do this. So now, looking at it, you're like, okay, so, like, there are certain things that I can't give my husband that his best friend can. And it's not, like, everything is not always a
No,
sexual
yes.
thing. And, like, there are certain things that, like, Charlese gives me that my husband can't give
Exactly.
me, you know?
One person
Yeah.
cannot be your everything.
Yeah.
It's not healthy. They will never be able to
Yeah.
fulfill all of your needs. That's why we need friends. It's why we need people at work. It's why we need enemies, like
Right.
the people that, you know, we have to bitch about,
Yeah,
whether it's,
of
someone
course.
from the grocery store or whatever, because, one person is only one person, and we're multifaceted people. So it's like, It's why you're not married to her husband, but you two are such good friends, you know, because it's like...
We've actually joked about that, though.
And it's like, so it's like, you're the wife. You're her wife, basically, you know what I mean? So it's like, you have all these different fulfillments from so many people.
Technically, there's a lot of people who feel that way. Like, on her husband's birthday, I was really tired. I didn't want to be hit on. I didn't want men to like try to talk to me. I didn't want anyone to touch me. I did not want anyone to try to get my number. And so literally, like, every time someone would come up to me, I'd be like, my wife and husband would not like this. And then I would look at the two of them, and if like at one point they both were standing next to me, I'd be like, babe, or like I would purposely sit there and like and when she was laying down getting a massage,
so yeah, I got
he
a
was
massage,
standing there
and
dancing with them.
The two of them were hanging out, and our other friend, and it was a topless place, and like I'm very secure. I don't give a shit that my friends are topless around my husband. Again, desensitized. Doesn't matter. So I swear to God, he's like, everybody here must think I'm a fucking millionaire because she's dancing up on him. Our other friend's dancing on him. Then I come back from the dead and I'm like dancing up on him. And then we have our other friend. So it's like 4 girls and him.
Yeah. He's just like,
and it's just,
like,
and then
where's
there's
your yacht?
Zach hiding in the background.
Yeah, Zach's hiding. Our friend was just like, he was like,
he was
watching
just sitting
football.
there chilling.
Yeah, he was
watching football, just chilling. Like,
hell yeah.
And so it just was one of those things where I was just like, basically this is my husband and wife. And like the weird thing is half the time like I'm always with them. Like I'm always with Allie. Like I'll be like, oh, she'll be like, you guys want to come out with us? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, we're gonna go to dinner here. We're gonna go do this. It'll be me and my husband and then Zach and Janet. And I'm like, okay. And then she's like, are you gonna come too? And I'm like, okay. And then I'll go and I'm sitting there, and sometimes I'm Janet's, wife, sometimes I'm Allie's wife, sometimes I'm, Allie's husband's wife, and then there's Zach.
I hope this makes it in.
Yeah.
Zach will
and then
be very
there's Zach.
It'll make it in. We're not done yet. We're still talking.
So like it's
Don't
always
cut
funny.
that out, David.